Got it.
Okay.
All righty. Well, thank you for coming to the community conversation. I'm Gwen. I'm the Parks and Recreation Coordinator. Accompanying me tonight is Mike Shuttleworth. I will let you introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Mike Shuttleworth. I'm the Planning and Community Development Supervisor. So while Gwen is doing a park plan, I'm doing a comprehensive plan for the city. So we're kind of working together with information back and forth.
And I'm Sherry Holden. I'm the president of the Sunnyside Senior Center. And so Gwen, since she came in, Elizabeth assigned her to me, and I really appreciate all the help.
Indeed. Been good times. So I'm just going to start asking questions, unless Mike, you want to talk about the comprehensive plan first.
I can just talk about it a little bit. So we are updating our comprehensive plan. We were supposed to have it done in 2017, so we're a little behind. We're required by the state every about 7 or 8 years, depending on what laws they pass, of looking at our comprehensive plan, looking at the data in there, updating all the data, looking at all new laws that are passed since the last time we updated that impact what we need to say in our comprehensive plan. One example is coming up, we don't have to do it, but the next update, they'll have to look at affordable housing and housing for homeless housing. So all the communities now have to provide for homeless housing. And the legislators seem to be, in the last 5 years, really involved in low-income housing or housing of all types, because I believe I heard the governor say we're short about 250,000 housing units, just based on population growth, not based on anything else. So we need housing, and Sunnyside's no different than anywhere else. So the comprehensive plan kind of looks at that, looks at the recent census and what information we can put out there. So people who are looking at Sunnyside and saying, I want to do a business there, they can look at the comprehensive plan and it'll give them some basic information and provide what policies and goals we hope to accomplish, so they know what the future of the community looks like. And with that being said, we will have a planning commission public hearing on February 8th. Hopefully I'll have a document out there next week. Right now, we are required by the state to let the state have it for 60 days so they can comment and tell us what we need to change, if anything, to comply with any new regulations. And currently they have it. The next 60 days is up next week. And so hopefully I'll get some kind of a list, or maybe they'll say, great, I don't know. But right now I'm waiting for them.
Are you going to do the public meeting as a Zoom again, or?
Yeah, currently the planning commission is a Zoom only. Same with the council right now, given the current real uptick.
Yes.
which was, for me, when I drove by the community center yesterday and saw a full parking lot, I'm thinking, wow, it'd be nice to have that when we have a public event, not necessarily testing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
I'll turn it over to Gwen.
It's the Gwen show now. Alrighty, so I'm working on the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan, which is a 6-year guide and strategic plan for managing and enhancing parks and recreation services. It provides a vision for Sunnyside's parks and recreation system, and it establishes a path forward for providing high quality, community-driven parks, trails, open spaces, and recreational opportunities. It provides a framework that kind of allows the city to respond to new opportunities as they arise. This plan is focusing on the next 5 years, 5 to 6 years. And there is currently a draft. It's a real rough draft, but it is online. If you go to the City of Sunnyside's website and go to Parks and Recreation, it's on the Planning and Projects tab. You can also get there through the Office of Community Development once you click on Parks, Recreation, and Space Plan. But it's a real rough draft. I'm going to work on having a more solid rough draft here within the next week. After these community conversations and the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, this plan will go to City Council on February 7th for the workshop review, and then hopefully will be approved by February 14th so that we can submit it to the Recreation Conservation Office by March 1st in order to be eligible for grants this year, or within the next year. It's a year-long grant cycle. And so hopefully we would be able to get some funds and get some things going. I would really like to look into our playgrounds and kind of figuring out what we can do for that. So with that, we have to ask a series of questions for the public. And I have a couple focus group questions. Sherry, you are my focus group. So we're gonna get through this real fast. There are about 18 questions,
Okay.
and I'm stoked to get going with them. So I'm gonna roll with it.
Okay.
All righty. So Sherry, I can, assume, but how long have you been a resident of the city of Sunnyside?
Oh, about 50 years.
20 plus years then?
Yeah, I moved away from home when I was 17, and yeah, so 67 now. Yeah, it makes 50 years.
I gotcha. What are some strengths of the Parks and Recreation Department that should be continued over the next several years?
Programs for the youth and for the seniors. Availability. Availability is so, I know with COVID, but prior to COVID, Parks and Rec here locally kind of disappeared. And to have it come back and give the families an opportunity for their kids to go and do something and be held accountable, not held accountable, but being able to join an activity and participate. I know when I worked with Parks and Rec years ago, it was instilled into the coaches who were volunteers that every child played. Unlike your Pop Warner and your other organizations that even though the parents pay to have the children play, the children don't all get to play. It depends on their, qualifications and their ability to sink that ball or kick that ball or whatever it is, And I really thought when all kids get to play, it was much better. Good for their ego, and I think that's about
Gotcha.
it.
Positive development.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Conversely, what are some major weaknesses that need to be addressed through the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan?
Heck if I know.
Weaknesses that you see in the Parks and Recreation Department, the Parks specific division, the Recreation specific division. Any weaknesses in either of those?
Again, it would be availability because, you just got to be able to offer it to people. I remember when we used to have to go and rent the parks to have our designated spaces, because families would all go and have picnics or whatever. But if you rented your space, you got it. Even if someone else was there, city person would come and say, I'm sorry, this space is, reserved, and you got that space. Whether it was at the park, it was at the pool, whatever it was, you reserved it, and it was your space. People talking with each other again. It's like we're so afraid to talk with each other unless we're angry, and then we want to tell each other off,
Okay. So how satisfied are you from 1 to 5 with the quality of the programs that were offered before the pandemic?
Sorry, 0, because there was no programs that I saw.
Before the pandemic?
Yeah, before the pandemic, there was nothing. I mean, you can go back and look in the daily paper and stuff. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, unless the school did it, but it wasn't Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like Parks and Rec disappeared.
Gotcha. when would you say the last time, like this is just me being curious, when would you say the last time there was a quality program was? When?
I would say around 2010. It's been a long while.
That is a long while. Okay. Number 5, what additional programs or activities do you feel the department should offer that are currently not available?
Oh, there's so many things out there. You know, there's soccer, football, baseball, you know, all the sports for the younger kids. There's also baseball and basketball, you know, for the adults. You know, like have a gym night for, I know the guys used to go and pay to go to the gym, which would be just like they're at the community center to go like on Wednesday nights and play basketball, whether it was 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 or whatever, but they had a 2 or 3 hour time frame that they could go in there and play basketball. Bob Sarmento used to do adult baseball, co-ed baseball, you know.
Okay.
And then of course, then we got our seniors. So we need to get together and with the high school and do like senior dances and get-togethers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Mike left, he got bored.
He was doing 2 meetings at once, so maybe he had to go, or I don't know. He'll come back, maybe. How satisfied are you with the overall quality of the existing park and recreation facilities provided by our department, and why?
Current parks and Rec facilities. I think they're beautiful. They're accessible, and they just need to get to know, the people just need to get to know that they are still there and can be used by us, by the people.
So Sherry, out of 1 through 5, where would you rank it?
The visibility of it, probably a 4 to 5, but the usage of it, you know, I'm sorry, but we're down like at 2.5, maybe 3.
Okay. Well, hello.
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. Welcome.
You're on mute.
So my name is Gwen Weeder. I'm the Parks and Recreation Coordinator. Joining me tonight is Mike Shuttleworth. He's our Community Development Supervisor, Planning Supervisor. And we are going through a list of questions that we've kind of started, but I'm happy to circle back to if you would like to answer them, Rebecca. If not, just feel free to jump in as I continue on, but I'm on number 6. So, and the question is, how satisfied are you with the overall quality of the existing park and recreation facilities provided by Sunnyside Parks and Recreation, and why? On a scale of 1 to 5. She left.
You scared her.
I did, I'm sure. Okay, that's sad. I'm upset about that. Moving on.
All right.
And Mike Farmer has been trying to get in. I don't know, something about the number or something. I'm not sure
Oh,
the issue is. So I will.
does he have?
I'm going to use the phone number and see if I can get in, see if that's an issue. But continue, please.
Continue. Okay. I was like, we can send him the Zoom link. Number 7 is, how would you rate the overall level of maintenance at the facilities owned or operated by the department? Please identify the location and specifics of any maintenance concerns. And I know the graffiti at the senior center, but we will get that done as
Oh no, the graffiti got painted.
Oh, got it. Oh, wonderful. It's been 50 degrees then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
for the maintenance department has been great. Shane and Mitch and whoever else, they work with me 100%. And I know Shane's very busy and sometimes he doesn't have the opportunity to get with me like he wants to.
Mhm.
And I understand that. So I always take pictures of everything. I send it to him and try to keep him informed on what's happening on and around us. I'm good with him.
That's good to
Give him
know.
a 5.
Gotcha. 5. Welcome, Counselor Farmer.
Thank you.
I am going through my list of questions. I can circle back, but I'm going to continue on and then I'll let you know when I circle back, okay?
That'll be fine. Thank you.
Alrighty. So number 8 of this community conversation question list is what improvements are needed at existing facilities? Where are these improvements needed? One that I'll throw out there is the playground at South Hill Park.
Okay. The senior center needs to be improved on the outside. It definitely needs to be painted. It is a mustard yellow color. I don't know if that's still the color of the county or the city, but it's starting to, we call that where it starts to chip off or whatever.
Okay.
So other parks. When I drive by them here in the wintertime, they appear to be clean and functional. I just know South Hill has a lot of bad issues. I heard about it the other day from a senior that wasn't happy with it.
Good to know. Counselor Farmer, do you have anything to add into this question? Hearing nothing, I am going to move on to number 9. Are there any portions of the community that are underserved? Please explain like where, what type of amenities are needed, what market segment needs more attention, etc.
Oh, underserved.
One of the results that I've seen in the community survey results is Harrison Hill apparently needs some attention. Areas like that, anything that you kind of heard or know about?
Well, kind of circle back to South Hill. I had a senior come in last Thursday and they said, what is going on? You know, they know that the COVID testing is there and they saw all the people. And we got to talking about how it used to have the exercise, walking, running stuff through around the grassy area. And she goes, oh yeah, they took down the fence over by Mart and now cars drive through there and now they're on the grass. And I'm going like, okay. Yeah, this is just what hearsay. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't really went and looked, but.
That's good to know. Thank you for letting me know that. I'll keep my eye on it. Walking. Counselor Farmer, do you have anything to add to this?
No,
item?
I apologize for the last time. I couldn't get myself unmuted.
Oh, that's okay.
I think I'm kind of in an awkward position here. I'm just going to be a listener, I think.
Okay.
At this particular point in time, if I have something to say, I'll speak up.
Okay.
Yes,
Sounds
please
good.
speak up.
All righty. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
All righty, so I'm going to move on to question number 10. As people continue to come in, I'll just let us know when we go back to the beginning. But if you want to throw something in there, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to ask the question now. What additional park and recreation facilities would you like to see the community provide? So this could be, you know, a special needs safe area in a playground, or additional restrooms along a path, maybe more pathways, maybe more bike trails, things like that. You could just say straight up park. You could say no more parks.
Okay, so like we got the pathway between Sunnyside and Grandview. And I believe it was Lions Club and some others who went out there and put benches and some covers and stuff. If we could get I think there's a restroom out there halfway. I'm not really sure anymore. I haven't walked it for a long while, but you know, restrooms are always good. Did I hear someone else say something to there? No, okay.
So maybe an additional restroom on that pathway.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or that could even be, I don't know, programs, or I guess that's what additional facilities, but if something were to add to like a path, like a story walk, I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there.
Yeah, we just need to kind of get back in time to when we had the functions and people came together and participated to celebrate the town and the people that are in it.
All right. Are there any facilities and or programs currently available that should be eliminated? If so, why and which ones? And I realize there are not very many programs running at this time. So if that also goes back to pre-pandemic things, that helps to inform me of kind of things that have happened in the past.
I don't think any program should be eliminated. I think they all have their just means. I know someone else want to comment on that too, please. Don't let me be the only one.
Well, this is Mike Farmer speaking. I will comment here. I don't think we can have enough programs for the youth of our community. I think they are the people who are going to be the leaders of this community in a few years. And I think anything we can do to support the youth in our community, we need to go all out and do it.
I totally agree.
I'm also in agreement with that. Alrighty. How would you rate the quality of customer service provided by the Parks and Recreation staff? Please elaborate. And also please think about lifeguards as you are thinking about that answer, people you've interacted with at the pool as well. They are recreation staff.
All right, so our new Parks and Rec coordinator, I think she's fantastic. She's helped me a lot. The pool, I haven't been down there. Well, I did go last year. Teenagers are teenagers, and sometimes they just need someone who has a little bit more authority on doing what's right, instead of just being silly and, you know, being a teenager. Because like we have the little kids pool. It should be for little kids and their mom sitting there, you know, to help them or whatever. Not for the 10, 12, 13-year-old kids to get in there and jump and splash and, you know, kind of like take over and scare the little kids out.
That's really good to know. Gotcha. Anyone else? If not, I will be moving on. Once I flip the page. Alrighty. How effective is the department in seeking feedback from the community and users on performing its improvements? On a scale of 1 being poor, 5 being excellent.
I think you're at a 5, Glenn, because you're putting things out there. You're trying to do surveys. You know, it's just people are surprised, and I'm glad they're surprised. And getting them to respond to you is a good thing.
I actually just counted my 100th survey response, so
Awesome.
felt fairly good about that. So I will keep up the means and try to increase them more. Okay, this is question number 14. The Parks and Recreation Department's programs and facilities are currently funded through a combination of revenue sources, mostly general fund, user fees, and partnerships. Do you think this is an appropriate way to fund the department? Yes, no, don't know.
Yes. Because if you have people paying into the department to do activities for the children or themselves or the seniors, then you're going to have the funds and you're going to be able to offer more. Instead of just waiting for the government to fund you and say, hey, I got this, and nobody shows up.
Alrighty. Who are key partners and stakeholders in the community with regards to assisting the implementation of the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan?
Help me, Mike Farmer.
And City Council.
Yes, city councilors, please help everyone.
But other than them, who else in the community? So I think, Sherry, you and the Senior Center Board are a really great stakeholder group. I think the Lions Club may also be.
Right. I'm so into the senior center. I really don't know who else is out there doing what. Sis Menard with the food bank and stuff, and the churches, and you know, I don't know who else.
Alrighty. What are key issues and values in the Sunnyside community that need to be considered while developing this plan? And please be honest, because I am not from Sunnyside. I don't know Sunnyside things. I like it. I really like it here. But I don't know values that build your people yet.
Oh. I don't know how to word it. It's like, be a neighbor, you know? Yeah, get to know your neighbors. That's the best way, you know, like years ago we used to do that national night out and stuff where they did block parties, you know, and stuff like that. You know, you get to know your neighbors. That's why I sold some of my property to put the apartments, it's what they call them or whatever. And it's for farming families, but they have kids, you know, and I love seeing the kids out there playing, riding the bikes, the skateboards and stuff. No, I don't like disrespectful children, and I will tell them and I will report them. But, you know, all the other ones are, you know, they're great. They, you know, you need that community.
Community. Okay. Any hot button issues that I should be aware of as I'm working on this plan?
I don't know.
Okay. That's okay.
No one else is speaking up. I need you guys' help.
I think it's hard for Mike because he's the city planner, so he's got to take it all and accept the things. And I think it's hard for Counselor Farmer as well, because he's got to approve this plan eventually. So
Oh, Mike's been here for a long time also.
this is true. This is true. Are there any political sensitivities that we should be aware of that could affect the success of the city's planning efforts?
Guys, just all get along, work with each other. Do what's right for the community and not just for yourself.
Alrighty, thank you. During the next 5 to 10 years, what are some top priorities for the Parks and Recreation Department? What would you like to see the Parks and Recreation Department achieve in the next 5 to 10 years?
More activities for the youth, for the adults, for the seniors, just more involvement, more programs to be offered to all.
We're giving a moment to make sure no one else wants to voice anything. This is the end of the first set of survey.
I have something real quick.
Oh, hi, Joe. How's it going?
Good. I just wanted to mention in the past that the programs that the Parks and Recs have had were good, but there was a lack of getting the word out, I believe. So getting people to know. I know I'm a little biased because I work at the newspaper, but just getting the word out, maybe advertising. A lot of times they would say that they didn't have the budget for that. So maybe that would be in the plan for an extra advertising budget.
That's so good to know. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Budget. Alrighty. I'm going to circle back around to the beginning of the survey. It's a focus group, if you will. So the first question is, how long have you been a resident of the city of Sunnyside? Okay. The second question was, what are the strengths of the Parks and Recreation Department that should be continued on in the next several years? Alrighty, conversely, what are the major weaknesses that need to be addressed through the Parks Recreation Open Space Plan? Open space, I always say space. I don't know why, but it's open space. Alrighty, how satisfied are you with the current quality of programs offered or the previous programs before the pandemic? I know I need to get on getting more activities going. I'm working on it. Number 5 is, what additional programs or activities do you feel the department should offer that are currently not available? Number 6, and I do believe this is where you jumped in, Counselor Farmer, but number 6 was, how satisfied are you with the overall quality of the existing park and recreation facilities provided by the Sunnyside's Parks and Recreation Department, and why?
I will speak for myself.
Okay.
I think that we have had in the past a very robust Parks and Rec program. I think we were a program that many other communities look towards, look to, and this COVID thing has absolutely destroyed everybody's programs, whether it's Parks and Rec or whatever it is. This COVID has destroyed it. And once we get through this, I think we just need to step back, look what we had before, and start doing it again. And it won't happen immediately. These things these things took years to grow and years to nurture. And we had lots of adults as coaches and referees and stuff, to where it was a community event. And I think that this would be kind of my vision of Parks and Rec. Let's get back on the saddle and ride the horse again as soon as we can, you know.
Thank you. And then question 7 was, how would you rate the overall level of maintenance at the facilities owned or operated by the department? Please identify locations and any specifics of your concern. Number 8 was, what improvements are needed at existing facilities? Where are those improvements needed? And then I do believe we went through the rest. Yes. Yeah. So that was pretty much all of my questions for what I had prepared. I do wonder if there are any other comments or ideas or just things out there that the Peanut Gallery has in their mind about Parks and Recreation or would like to voice in this moment.
I like
Well,
this.
you know,
Oh, go ahead.
as a longtime resident of the community and having my kids raised in this community and have participated in the various Parks and Rec programs, I just can't wait to get back up and going again. I think that's half of growing up is the relationships you make with other kids and with other grown-ups. You know, you have your people that you admire and you want to emulate, and I think that the sooner we can get this thing up and going again, I think the better off our community will be. I'm happy with the Parks and Rec department personally. It's a tough job. You know, there's always people that are going to complain, but sometimes a lot of the complainers are the people who stand on the sides and don't do anything, you know. And I think the more people that we can bring in, the more the program will grow and prosper.
Thank you.
And the big question is how to do that, you know.
Right. Right. And that's kind of what the plan will lay out for us, hopefully. And I do have a rough draft currently posted on the Parks and Recreation website for planning and projects. Like once you get to Parks and Recreation, it's under planning and projects, the main thing. It's a real rough draft, but it is working. And I will have a completed draft done by probably the end of this week for a second draft. And then this will go to City Council for the workshop on the 7th. And then we'll also be there for the 14th on the agenda. So hopefully we'll get a lot of good input between now and then, and it will really help kind of shape the plan and help us shape the future. Sherry, I think you had something to say as well.
Oh, just I agree wholeheartedly with Mike, and you know, this is our community, and Parks and Rec is a big part of it, and getting those activities out there again for the youth and for the adults and for the seniors it's a hard job, and I so appreciate you going so much. You have no idea.
Alrighty, well, since we have gone through all of my questions and we've voiced our other thoughts, I do think we can call this meeting adjourned at 6:46 p.m. A little earlier than I was expecting, but that is okay. And next time around, I will market it better.
And that's tomorrow at 4:30, right?
Yes, tomorrow there is a Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, which will also be live streamed on Zoom at 4:30. The Parks and Recreation Commissioners, a few of them are going to meet at the community center conference room, but a few of them will also be Zooming in.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd like to hear what they have to say. I don't want to be the voice this time, the second time.
No, I get it. We'll definitely do it again, and I'm gonna try to get another date on the calendar to meet with the community. I just wish COVID would go down so that I could feel comfortable being like, everyone come to the community center, but I'm
Right.
just not there yet. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, well, hopefully. They said it takes about 3 years. The Spanish flu that happened in 1932 took 3 years to be gone. And was it the SARS, the SAR one, that took 3 years for it to be gone. So we're on year 2. So
Hopefully soon.
yeah, it'd be nice.
It'd be nice. Alrighty, everyone. Well, with that, thank you for your time and thank you for being here. And I will be available for comment or question over email or phone call. I do suggest leaving a message if you call my office phone, because I am getting bombarded with COVID calls. But otherwise, have a great night and thank you all for being here.
You too, Glenn.
Thank you.
Cheering for Sunnyside, but my industry partners are starting to tell me, maybe it's just not going to happen in Sunnyside. So what you see on the diagram, previously Moses Lake was identified as